afternoon. Thank you all for being here with me today. I was wondering how many people in this room watch college sports? Awesome. I see some of us don't watch college sports, but that's okay. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about the NCAA transfer portal, what it means for college athletes, and what it means for their college experience. I probably will not go to a young man's home ever again. We just go to the negotiating table. This is a quote from Rick Pitino, 37-year veteran and the current St. John's head coach. Today we'll talk about athlete mobility, team dynamics, and how the transfer portal is changing the recruiting for college sports. To enter the portal, you must provide a written notification to the compliance administration at your school, but you are not required to notify your coaches or the administration. This is from Scotty Jenkins. It was published in an article for GMTM on February 21st of 2023. The transfer portal is something that was created in 2018, but wasn't highly impacted until the last few years when something called the NIL came into play. And NIL is a deal that students are able to get paid for their name, their image, and their likeness. Since the transfer portal and NIL have come into play, the rise in transfers has gone up tremendously. Players transfer for many reasons. A few might be a better fit, meaning they get to a college, they don't like it, they thought that it was going to be where they wanted to go, they don't like the campus, they don't like the coaches, they don't like their players, they just don't feel it's a good fit for them, they feel like they're better, they can go somewhere else. They enter in the transfer portal, another team picks them up, and they go there and hopefully they like it. It could be because of playing time, whereas their freshman year they played for a minute or two, they think the coach is wrong, they think they deserve more time, they believe they can get more time at another school, they enter the transfer portal, hopefully to get picked up by school, get more playing time, so they can get more likeliness, get their image out there more, and also have more opportunity to make more money in all reality. As far as team dynamics, coaches who don't recruit the portal will get left in the dust when the recruits they worked so hard to sign enter. That's in Robinson 2024. Because of the transfer portal, there's constant roster changes. Nothing ever stays the same. Kids are coming, kids are going. You might have a stacked roster this year, and then next year it's not so good. Teams can benefit from this way because they're able to go in and pick kids up out of the transfer portal when they do lose a kid. But their leaders could leave unexpectedly. You could have your kid on your team who scores 30 points and carries you the whole way through the tournament. And then he automatically leaves because he doesn't think it's a good fit for him, or there's a better opportunity for him out there. So he leaves unexpectedly, and it hurts the team. And coaches face challenges in those ways because they lose their leaders, and they lose kids that they've worked very hard to go and recruit. As far as recruiting, before the transfer portal and the NIL deals, kids were only getting recruited out of high school. Now, it's high school kids and transfer athletes, so high school kids are not competing with kids who already have a build, already know the game of basketball. It's harder for them. It was already hard, and now it's harder because before a coach goes and picks up a high school kid, he's probably going to look in the portal. And we're not recruiting any high school basketball players, not this year, said Rick Pitino. So it's faster because they're able to jump in the portal and grab kids out that already are big, got the build, know the game, know the pace of the game, rather than having to go and get a high school kid who's 17, 18 years old and mold him into that player. And people want to win tournaments, and sometimes you win tournaments with veteran players, people who've been there, people who know the game. And as far as signing deals now, it's getting later and later. High school kids used to get talked to early in the season. In November, college coaches were signing them. They were knowing where they were going to school. Now college coaches aren't coming around and signing kids until the spring rather. They're waiting because they're getting kids in the portal and they're filling all the spots with that, and then they're going back to the high school kids and saying, well, now maybe we can pick up a high school kid because we got everything that we needed out of the portal, and now we'll give a kid an opportunity. So with all that being said, as the transfer portal continues to evolve, there's one thing that's clear. College sports will never be the same. It's now as competitive on the back end as it is on the court. Thank you guys for coming.
Can I answer your question?
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about the transfer portal?
Personally? if I had a son that was a senior in high school and had a lot of recruits last year, and then the school he was going to fell back because they picked up the kid out of the portal instead, I don't know how I would feel, but, if I want my team to win an NCAA title and we can go get a big guy that puts up 30 points rather than a high school kid that we're not sure how he's gonna transition into college, then I like it, so either way.
So, how does this affect LeBron's legacy?
I don't know if it affects LeBron's legacy. Do you think it affects LeBron's legacy?
LeBron didn't go to college, so how does it affect his legacy?
I don't know. That's why I asked you the question.
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead.
So I believe he said that you don't have to notify anybody if you register for the portal. So like if my son decides that he's playing for a college right now and he decides he would rather play elsewhere, so he enters the portal. Nobody knows he's in the portal, right? So he can continue to technically play for the current school he's playing in, and then if somebody picks him up, that's when they find out, like if he decides to take it.
You have to enter the portal after your season?
So you can only enter during a certain period of
I
time.
believe so, yeah.
So, like, what happens if you enter it and you never get picked again? That's just like
I
the
think you could stay where
gamble
you're
you're
at.
taking?
You're the gamble you're taking, yeah.
I don't think can you say where you're at?
That's what I'm wondering,
I'm not
like, do you
sure.
stay or do you get,
Mhm.
well, you just don't play anymore?
Go ahead.
Can I answer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Answer the questions.
There's a certain time where you can go into the portal, and once you go into the portal, your name is broadcast on an NCAA site that you are in the portal. So as soon as you go in, your name gets listed into the portal, and there's 363 Division I schools across the country. And with the portal now, everyone has one or two people that every day their job is to get up in the morning, go into the portal and see who's new today. So when your son enters the portal, 5 minutes later, 300 schools and 10,000 people know he's in the portal.
So you have to be very confident to think that you're going to be
Yeah.
selected
I
by
mean,
the
if you look at the
school.
portal, like 2 of the top 25 kids in the portal right now got picked up by St. John's, and 1 kid from North Carolina. Like, they're good. That's why it gives you a sense of entitlement, because I know I'm good, I know I can go to another school.
Yep.
And
Somebody
that's
pick
where
me
the
up.
sense of entitlement comes from.
Yeah.
And that's why they're like, oh, I got a couple of $100,000 here, and go elsewhere, I'm gonna go $100,000.
So it's okay to pay players in college?
Yeah, they pay some of
I
them
thought they
before they get to college.
stopped that. I thought that.
No, they should put a cap on it, but, okay, got it.
So can players talk to like other college coaches before they enter the portal so they can guarantee like a chance of like going somewhere?
I believe people have talks, I don't know if they're allowed to be public, but,
Not allowed to, it's tampering.
yeah.
Now, you got handlers and people behind the scenes saying, we may go, my guy may go in the portal, but the college can't talk to a athlete while he's at another school.